Is it too late to start subleasing in Dubai?
Can make money like in every industry, even in Dubai subleasing, even if it's highly competitive.
There's been a big hype around subleasing this year, a big one.
And the start of 2025 is pretty good. March is going to be Ramadan.
Do you have the best brand? Maybe that plays a big factor.
For sure. I mean, branding is important. The brand experience when the guest enters.
Do you use Slack as well?
Yes.
The VA clicks checked out. The guest has checked out. Immediately on Slack, on our channel, a message appears by Monday.
I mean, it can happen. And this can lead to like a full refund case, you know?
And Airbnb always sides with the guest.
Everything is getting more competitive, and the next thing, staying this forever, is direct bookings.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Why? It's never too late. So it's not too late, but you need to do a good job.
Today on the podcast, I got Radid and Salar. These guys started subleasing in Dubai at the same time as me. And Radid, he's probably the fastest growing subleaser in Dubai, at least in 2024. And Salar, he's got some of the most beautiful units I've ever seen. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. So guys, is it too late to start subleasing in Dubai?
It's never too late.
No.
It's never too late. If you do a good job, you can make money like in every industry, even in Dubai subleasing, even if it's highly competitive. So it's not too late, but you need to do a good job.
Yeah. But in December, it was scary though. The beginning of December, we really felt that it was very hard to get the bookings we needed. Salar, how did you feel about that?
I was surprised.
Yeah.
For the first half, I mean, I think we all were surprised, right? So we were just waiting for the big December where we supposedly would get the most revenues. And we were like, I was really shaking, like by the 15th of December, I was kind of shaking, but finally it took off by the half, pretty much at the half. So,
because obviously there's been a big hype around subleasing this year, a big one.
Yeah.
And why are you laughing?
It's called the Bergtor effect, no?
No. Okay, yeah, I saw that somewhere. But so obviously, you know, the summers are very slow because it's so hot in Dubai. Everybody was expecting really good profits coming into the high season. October and November were decent, but then December, just what the hell happened in the beginning of December? It was so slow. But New Year's was good. And how is the next couple of months looking for you guys?
Well, pretty good so far. January is performing very well.
Yeah.
New Year's was good as well. I made a record revenue in one day. And record revenue in December as well, mostly because my number of units has been increasing, right? So, and then the start of 2025 is pretty good. January is strong. February looks to be strong as well. March is going to be Ramadan, and that's going to be challenging, like we also encountered last year. But trying to prepare for that as well. So I think pretty okay, pretty strong. Yeah.
So what about you? How are you feeling about early 2025?
I agree, basically.
Yeah.
January is so good. I didn't expect it to be that good.
I keep hearing you talking so well about January. I'm like, I'm not that happy about January. Maybe because, I don't know. But
you had like amazing numbers in Q4.
yeah,
So I think that's also like the comparison.
man, yeah, December, that was the most amount of money I've made ever in a month.
Right.
Crazy, insane. And I had my December in Iceland is good too. Obviously, I've had good numbers in Iceland before in the summers. But like with this many units in December in Dubai and my Iceland units, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Such a nice feeling seeing like your hard work pay off, you know.
Nice.
I bet you guys feel the same too, right?
Definitely. I mean, when we met, like I had like 4 units or something like that. And, you know, it's tough to scale here in Dubai. And now I have 15 units under my belt. I changed some units, got some new units, and I couldn't be more happy. Like, I'm not at the stage where Radid is at the moment, but I'm just really, really happy how it's going. And I'm just very positive for the future.
Yeah. So, Radid, how many units do you have now in total?
73. Live. Actually, 72 and 73 are going to get live this weekend. So 71 and 73 by the end of this week. Yeah.
And how much, like if you look at the entire year of 2024, how much revenue and profit do you think you made?
The profit is a difficult one, right? Revenue, I can...
See, how do you not know how much money you made in 2024?
I'm going to explain to you why, right? So revenue, 11 million dirhams.
Okay.
Right, so that's...
Everybody in the world knows how much money I made in 2024. Keep going.
Yeah, so no, but 11 million dirhams.
Yeah.
Profit-wise, of course, I can calculate my margins, but consider that I have like a portfolio of for the biggest chunk it's subleasing, right? For a small part it's revenue sharing, and for the subleasing units you have to consider your write-offs too. So your furnishing, your agent's fees, etc., etc. And those things I haven't made my full year calculation yet. I expect like this business should make around 15% approximately of your revenue as a profit. So I would say between 10 and 15 if I'm conservative in my estimations. So that should be close to 1.5 million dirhams in profit.
Dirhams of profit. So it's about $500,000.
Bit less.
Bit less.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I always look at, so you're talking about the agent's fee and the furnishing cost.
Yeah.
The way I calculate my profits on social media and everything, everything that's an initial investment, I look at that like buying the deal, everything I just have to pay for once, like furniture, agent's commission, that's my investment. And then we have the deal. And then obviously I calculate the expenses of how it costs to maintain the furniture for 10 years and everything that's repeat. So Salar, what about you? What was your revenue and profit in 2024?
I cannot really tell you the profits, to be honest, but I'm always like looking to reach my goal. And this is always like I need the $1,500 net profit per unit. That's what I'm trying to get. And so far it's looking good. We did a lot of profit in the last couple of months. And looking at my numbers, some units I'm now getting into the second year. So I don't have all the numbers for the whole year right now because December and January there is some missing, but it's looking good.
And you had how many units?
Now we are managing 15.
15.
Yeah.
All subleased, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, one I'm doing for one of my friends. That's a 1-bedroom apartment. That's the only 1 bedroom. But the rest just sublease, and it's 14 2-bedrooms. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this one apartment is more of a favor, basically. You help someone.
Yeah, I help him, and I can get some benefit out of it, and
right.
You can,
yeah. That's
Wow.
nice. Yeah. I mean about the profit calculation, right? So I think this business where we're in this industry, especially if you do subleasing, it's like there's the big difference between margin and profit. Because if we we buy all this furniture, right? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I mean, may God forbid, but let's say next year we would not be able to do any subleasing anymore. Airbnb stops operating in Dubai. Will not happen, but hypothetically, right? So that means your costs are your investment is gone, right? So we can say, hey, I made $500,000 profit, but it's not there yet, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cash flow wise, it's not there yet.
I agree.
So what in a correct accounting way of looking at the numbers, you got to take like your write-offs, which would be, I think, how long would the furniture survive an Airbnb? Maybe 4 years, I think so, approximately. So you would take like 25% as an expense, as a write-off in this 1 year, and then the second year again, third year again, fourth year again. But if you look at cash, because we invest our own cash, our money, our net worth goes into the business for a big part. And then after doing that, the question is like when do you get it back?
Yep.
And when do you make more? When do you get more money out of the business than you put in the business?
Yeah.
And that point I haven't reached yet.
Yeah.
Right. So I can talk about profit.
mean, so this is the thing. I will never ever in my life ever reach that point. I will always reinvest my profits.
Yes.
So I will die before that point will reach.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Why?
So, because I will always be growing. I maybe not. I won't be setting up more properties, but I will be investing in Bitcoin. I will be buying real estate. My investment, my profit is always going to be reinvested.
Yep.
Yeah, that I agree to,
Yeah.
right? But I think there's a difference between like reinvesting into the same business.
Yeah.
So let's say like you make $1 million in 2025, hypothetically, and then you take this million and then you get like 30 more units
Yeah.
in a subleasing model, or you take this 1 million and you make a down payment for buying real estate, for buying Bitcoin. That's diversifying. I think it's different.
So I think just if we want to show people how profitable our units are, I think the way I do structure it is the only clear way to do it. If you're always going to say, okay, I reinvested this much, so I made no money. I never made any money. How are you going to make a clear picture of how much your units are making? Because what I'm just showing how much my units are making if I'm not reinvesting. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get your point. It's actually a very interesting discussion. It's a very interesting conversation.
Because I get so much hate on this. Everybody tells me this,
Yeah. Look, it makes sense to understand the profitability of the thing.
Yeah.
But from an entrepreneurial perspective, from an investor perspective, I mean, you need to have like $1 million to furnish your 30 units, right? So if you don't have the million to put in the business, you're not going to be able to have these 30 units that might make you multiple millions.
Exactly.
But it's an important nuance.
Yeah, it's also just good that people understand that. So when I say I made $250,000 in December, I just invested that all into more units. So, but it is what it is.
The way.
That's the annoying part of this business. Imagine if we just were in a business where we could grow with zero investment and all the profit, we would just be like, what do we do with this?
It's called revenue sharing.
That's a good point. That is a good point. So that is the other model, obviously. But that is so much harder, man.
Yes.
So you have a lot of revenue share. I have a lot of revenue share.
Yeah.
We do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But so you don't have any revenue share.
Not really, no.
This is one unit.
Like that one unit I'm doing. For
this is the same as we would call this revenue share, co-hosting, management, many different words for this model. This is where we split the revenue with the owner instead of giving them a fixed rent up front. So what are your thoughts on revenue share? Are you going to keep doing that in 2025?
Short answer, yes. I'm going to keep on doing revenue sharing, but I will only do it for high revenue units, right? I'm not going to do like revenue sharing for a 1-bedroom apartment or studios, etc., because let's say you take 20% out of the revenue, and if the property only makes like 200,000 or less, 100,000, right? And then you make 20,000 in margin, and then you're going to pay your costs, your employees, your licenses, etc. It's not worth it. 20,000 dirhams on a yearly basis. Also, additionally, apart from the money part, like you need to work only with owners that you like working with. Because like otherwise, if you just take on every apartment for a revenue sharing deal, you might get questions like, why did you spend like 50 dirhams on that or 100 dirhams on that? Or no, I want the unit back after a month. And all those things are not worth it. So basically, you don't take any risk from a financial perspective. You don't have to invest money, but you do invest time and
so much time. Didn't you have some horror story? Didn't you have an owner that you were managing the apartment for? You can just say no comment. But when you were traveling, he said he was like very unhappy that you were traveling outside the country, right?
Yeah.
They put so much pressure on you. It's insane.
Yeah. So this one owner got a bit emotional, let me say it that way, when according to him the performance of the unit was not good, but obviously it was low season, it was August, so you cannot make good revenue in August. And so I will never take basically owners in my portfolio anymore who don't understand seasonality, and you just got to do like a proper screening at onboarding, right? Because if you don't understand the fact that in August you're going to have like less than half of the revenue than December, that's going to be a very challenging thing. Right. So and then like calling me and say, I mean, you're out of the country and I'm not making money, and that's not something I will do anymore.
So what do you think about the way I do the management model?
You have your business partners, right?
Yeah. So I obviously, I'm kind of like, I get very like often like stressed, and like I get like sometimes I just get anxiety when there's too many things happening. So I just can't have owners like that. I just couldn't do it, because then I couldn't run a profitable business. So what I did is I had 2 partners. They're just like us 3, just super high-end smart guys. And we own the business together. I bring in all the leads. Then they take care of all the owner communication with the owners. And then the 3 of us work together on the business, hiring people, systems, maximizing the revenue.
So I think it's a great way what you're doing, because especially for the kind of guy you just described yourself, that you don't want to deal with the headache. It's amazing, like, because you're just getting like the guys, you're trusting them, they're handling all the business, the day-to-day work, and you're bringing the leads. It's a good partnership, I would say. Just you need to make sure that it's really for the long term, that you're going to have a healthy relationship. That's very important.
Exactly.
Yes. Other than that, you can really scale, because like I see maybe some people are questioning Dubai's future when it comes to this market, to this business, but I really don't. Like, I mean, if nothing extraordinary happens, I think that it's just going to grow and become better and more professional.
I think just like everything else, it's a market. if it comes too unprofitable, then Airbnbs are going to convert into long-term rentals, and then the long-term rental rate will come down, and then Airbnb will go up a little bit. So it's just a balance. The Airbnb will always be a little bit higher.
Even myself, I don't see too much, like when we're talking about the market and competition, for example, I don't see too much the other subleasing people who come into the market. I don't see them too much as a competition or as a threat, to be honest. Like, I think maybe what is more a problem, could be a problem, is when more and more landlords or property owners are deciding to go into the same market, because that creates a lot of competition.
You mean to do it themselves?
Like, not just to give it to management companies, because then you have because we have so many property owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many of them didn't think about any doing this like a couple of years ago. But now even agents are going to them, from what my understanding, and like recommending to do that, right? So more and more people are doing it, and we need to see how much more properties are coming into the market, like into the short-term market from the landlords themselves.
I think for every apartment that comes into the market, one goes out, because there's only so much room for Airbnbs in Dubai, and it's already saturated. You can't saturate it anymore. So for every good person that comes in, a bad person will drop out.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Why do you think so?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a good theory, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the numbers, you see that the number of units in Dubai has been increasing significantly.
Well, because tourism has also increased. So the big bucket is, of course, going to expand as well.
Yeah, but tourism increases, like, if I'm not mistaken, like by 10% approximately, or even single digit per year, which is still very good. I mean, it's like a worldwide record, basically.
Yeah.
But if you look at the number of Airbnb units, I think there was like a 30-something% increase the last 12 months, right? And over the last 3 years, there's been more than 20% per year of increase. And this last year was the highest.
But obviously, at some point, it can't keep going.
No, true. I mean, definitely, like a lot of people who would join the market now, like, if you sign bad deals, you're not going to make it. I keep on repeating it. I keep on, even in my community or on Instagram or to whomever I speak, don't sign bad deals. If you sign a deal with a high rent, you might make money now, but the rent is the single most important unchangeable factor.
Just got to be patient.
You cannot.
But you're seeing it now. Like, ever since the scare in December, it was a lot easier to pick up units.
Right.
Before the scare in December, everybody was adding as many as possible.
Yeah. And for crazy rents.
Crazy rents.
That scares me sometimes.
Yeah, you hear stories of people just picking up 6 units without having any clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And then like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not making any money.
It's ridiculous, man. Like units for, like 2-bedroom units for 280.
Yeah.
Right? Just regular 2-bedroom units for 280. You're not going to make a profit.
No.
Right? And then they take 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So confident that they're going to make money. They might make money now, but...
Not even now. I don't think that's like, because also I think one thing with this saturation or the more competition we have is also now guests can choose where to book, meaning like ratings are playing a more crucial role as well. So I'm so happy that, for example, we started, it's good for us that we started like 1.5 years ago, what have you, because we could collect all those good ratings. It comes really in handy. Like, I can see it, we can see it. People trust us. They come, they see we're super hosts. We have.
So you mean the landlords trust us?
No, I'm talking about getting bookings.
Oh, getting bookings.
I'm talking about getting bookings because now, before the market was like, to be honest, and even we talked about this before, like the ratings many times in Dubai, they were not that good, because management companies or what have you. But now ratings play a crucial role in getting booked or not booked. This is what I'm seeing.
I agree. But I do think, like, for example, I have multiple Airbnb accounts. So I see that even on the accounts that are like new listings on these new accounts, I still get booked. Right, so obviously there's a difference between.
They didn't have superhost status at that moment.
No, I'm talking about a brand new account.
Okay, good.
Right. So and it still gets booked. But for sure, like these golden guest favorite on a superhost account with 30-40 reviews, they will always perform better.
Because all of sellers' units are like that.
This guy is amazing. This guy is
it's just like
amazing.
For me now, going into my really like with many some units or many units maybe into the second year, I can see how more easy it becomes for me to get booked, and for also for the prices that I like them to get booked. I don't need to make too much compromise. I don't have to give too many discounts. So that's why I'm so happy, and I see and I reflected on the good ratings. This is just my impression, but Yeah, we'll see. I think we have definitely those who are long in the game. They always have have an advantage, but I think there were phases when it comes to this market. There was this pre-Bergthor phase, I would call it.
The pre-Bergthor effect.
Right? You had those old school guys. Many of them were managing. You know, they were just doing whatever. That's why you saw a lot of bad ratings. You know, then. With Bergthor and also with you, we have to give credit where it's due. Like we saw like a new level of subleasing, a new level of Airbnb business because you took it to a next level.
Wow.
And then now you have the students and the newbies who are also trying their luck, you know?
Yeah.
So what I think has happened is, you know, obviously we've been posting on social media and telling the whole world that this is possible in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's a lot of bad operators to come, but also some of the best operators in the world come to Dubai.
Yeah.
And the thing with these people that are subleasing, they are usually a lot better than the management companies because with the management companies, they don't have to hit the numbers.
Yes.
They're gonna make their numbers their profit no matter what because they just get 20% of the revenue.
True.
But people subleasing, they have to. Their lives literally depend on it to make like a certain number because otherwise they're losing money. So they're going to put a lot more effort into the units.
Yes.
So obviously they're going to beat the management companies.
For sure.
And
for sure.
And when we got so many people subleasing, the competition just rises exponentially.
Yeah.
And that's why we hear a lot of these management companies, these old school ones, you know, they talk about how difficult it is right now because competition is just so much higher.
Definitely. Also, if you look at the furnishings of the older ones, you know, like there's such a huge difference what the market is doing. Like everybody who's coming to the market, they're seeing what you're doing and other people are doing, and they say, okay, this is where I need to be.
This
if
is
I
the
want
standard.
Yes, definitely.
You can even, like, if you look at just the furnishing companies, like Kiana, the way they used to furnish when we started, it was just sofa, bed, TV,
wallpaper.
not even always, and just you're good to go. Put it on Airbnb. But now even those furnishing companies, they have realized, if I want to stay in business, I have to improve. So these companies are improving their quality as well. So just So I just think Dubai, the city, should thank us honestly because we have raised the quality of Airbnbs. Honestly.
For sure. I think the furnishing makes a difference. But the funny thing is, I've been like experimenting a bit, right?
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is like in a building where I got multiple units, I did multiple like furnishing companies. I tried them all out, right? So a few with for example Kiana, a few other companies as well, and it makes a difference in revenue, but not that much. That's a really
good point.
Yeah.
So your units, I remember I used to joke to you about your units were not as good as like good looking as ours, but now your units are absolutely beautiful. You've taken it to the next level.
The new ones.
I've seen it, and you don't see that much difference?
Well, now in high season, because I'm talking about units I added now in high season, right? So like between multiple furnishing companies, I tried them all out and I saw not that much of a difference, right? Even sometimes when I thought this unit is really beautiful, it didn't turn out to be the unit that had most revenue. But again, this is like 1 month, 2 months. I think there are factors more important than the design. For example, like how many people does it sleep? That's I think a big thing. Sofa bed or no sofa bed, like those things, right? And just your listing description, your pricing. There are so many things that are like. So I think if you look at a unit on Airbnb that has like below par furnishing, it often will also mean that their pricing and their listing and their review rating are also below par. So then the question is, what is the reason for more or less revenue? Is it really the furniture, or is it like the correlation with the pricing, that it's not on par, that it's not a good pricing strategy, that the listing is not good, the review rating might be low? So I'm still not entirely sure about the impact of furnishing by itself on the total performance of the unit. Especially the profitability, because you can furnish a 1 bedroom for like 20K.
Yeah.
You can also furnish the same 1 bedroom for 60K.
Yeah. I feel like I still don't understand it fully. So I cannot disagree with you at least.
Yeah.
But Salar, what do you think? You obviously always just go all out.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think like just do it. You know, like what else you
Yeah.
have to lose? Because the difference at the end between like B plus design and the A plus design is just maybe 10,000 dirham at the end of the day.
And we're holding
So
these units for 5 years sometimes.
That's
So
true.
why not just invest
Yes.
10,000?
Yeah.
yeah, that's my take.
That's
Just do
definitely
it, you
true.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you like look at it from the broader scheme of things, so 3, 4, 5 years,
Yeah.
then it might just be worth it to invest in proper
Because you don't know
finishing,
what's going to happen with the market. Maybe
True.
like in 1 or 2 years, like everybody has already. So many other people have so beautiful designs. So
Yeah.
you should look to the future.
True.
And like
At least the same. At least
Yeah.
the same, right?
Because you might be profitable now, but
Yeah.
what about in 2 years when the
Mm.
competition is even higher?
But one thing I have realized is because now I just took a new apartment which is doing phenomenal. I cannot share which one it is. I can tell you later. But this one is a bigger apartment. It's one of the older buildings, so it's bigger. Okay?
I think I've seen the unit.
It's also from Imar, and wow, this is like maybe my number 1 unit right now because
Wow.
people can see from the picture that it's big, and people are asking also now more and more how big is the unit, because like this is what I'm seeing, like families especially, they want to
Yeah.
have like a really more space. They want to come here, they're ready to spend, but for them space becomes more and more important.
Interesting.
Especially with Burj Royal, I just had one. Like I picked up a new one. It's a beautiful one. By the way, I'm grateful for that. But the second guest or so we had, she was like, "I'm so disappointed by the size."
I had a similar complaint like
Right?
last week.
It's too small.
They say it's too small, and
Yeah.
it is compact. But people book it more for the convenience, for the location, for the view. But they were like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed." I said, "Okay, this is like now. I think size plays more and more a role because more and more families are coming actually."
True.
Yeah.
True. What do you think, like both of you, like what do you think, like the future of like the Airbnb? What will the Airbnb guest will be like in 2025, 2026 and onwards? You say families basically, right? Multiple guests.
Yeah.
Will it like be more of that, or will also individuals move into like using Airbnbs? What do you guys think?
So the thing is, like families, for example, are trying to see their options. For example, like just really quick one, in Istanbul, like last year, or in Turkey, I guess, last year they had a regulation that made Airbnb almost impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, like Istanbul, for example, is a much bigger market in tourism when it comes to tourism than Dubai, because it's more big and it has more history and what have you. But now this is affecting it a lot. Why? Because many people, they want to travel with their families and they don't want to stay in a hotel. They want to go and they say, okay, what Dubai is an option, or maybe New York, what have you. So we want to go there where we are treated best, where we get the most for our money, right? So and if you can, like, so that's why, like, we have some, like, families want to be together at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They want to have space. They
Yeah.
want to be comfortable.
I think also just if the quality on Airbnb increases in Dubai like it is, then more people are going to book on Airbnb instead of hotels and
Yes.
Yeah.
but let's shift a little bit. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little bit our goals in 2025 and what we're going to do to get there. So my goal is obviously to get closer to my sublease in 100 Airbnb apartments in Dubai, and I want to grow my co-hosting company to just make it as profitable and as big as possible. What are your goals, Salar? If you start.
My goal now is actually pretty simple. So I just want to really stabilize with my 15 units I'm running right now. I'm not so eager or not so desperate to get more units. I don't feel the rush now, because now I'm feeling, okay, these units, they're making money. I'm happy that after like not even 1.5 years, I am at this stage, because I'm still just the one person. Okay, I have more employees now, but what have you. But at the end of the day, now I will wait it out. And when I see good units, I will pick them up. And let's say if by the end of the year, I can be at 20, 25 units, let's say 25 units by the end of the year, I would be super, super happy with that.
Yeah, and like your units are very good as well. Like you have high quality, highly profitable units.
I mean, I'm looking really long term for me,
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the good thing is with this kind of business, like once you reach a certain point, for example, the point you have like around 40, I guess, right?
Yep.
So if you reach a certain point, then really the money, the cash flow which is coming, like this helps you much more easier to grow, right? To scale, it becomes so easy. So you have to reach that point. So for me, I think like if I can reach really like around 30 units, something like that, then obviously that's where I think I would be then the game will also change for me. But until then, I will take it easy because I don't see this like as a quick scheme to make some money. It's just like a long-term game. And if I can have, let's say for argument's sake, if I can have in 3 years, I can have 50 units just for myself.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, right?
That reminded me of a lot of people say like, is this a good time to pick up a unit? Like, is this a good time? I'm like, we're in 5 years when we're growing, we have 100 units. We're not going to care like when we picked up this unit.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this for the long game.
Yes.
It doesn't matter when you pick it up.
You mean like in a year time? Like
Yeah, if you're
seasonally,
picking it right for the summer or whenever.
It's very frequent.
It's like 5 years from now, you're not going to care when you picked it up.
It doesn't matter at all.
And especially maybe in 5 years, you will be super happy with the rents you are paying for those units.
Exactly. Yeah.